Alright, in this video, I'll be taking a look at GALA. I think this is a gaming token. I don't really know though. I don't know what most of these altcoins do, but I like looking at charts and I can do analysis on them, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. So first off, I like my weekly market structure. Right now we are still technically in a downtrend for GALA, but we made a nice lower low here. It was barely a lower low, showing that people didn't want to sell it much lower. Now we're getting a pretty bullish move back up, around the high. We're not quite there yet, but we are pretty steadily approaching it, and I think things are starting to look bullish on market Cipher. So I think things are looking good for a potential weekly bullish break in the near future. On the weekly time frame, we see that money flow is coming up nicely. You can't really see the full curvature, but you can kind of imagine that if there was more data, it looks something like this, and it is now starting to curve to the upside. We did put in a lower low here, and I'd say we got a pretty good looking trigger wave. It's a pretty drastic one, right? We put in our lowest low with momentum, then we got a very tight trigger wave, but it still looks good nonetheless. Money flow is coming up pretty aggressively. It is kind of turning over a little bit more locally, but we saw that right here, so maybe you can expect that to turn to the upside pretty soon, especially since price has been pumping the last few weeks. So overall, money flow is getting a significant move to the upside. At least on this chart, it's the highest it's ever been. I can look and see if there's maybe a better chart for this. So MEXC had it the longest, and we do have a nice curvature here. We can see that money flow is the highest it's been since it crossed back down through this level. So, money flow is looking good. Momentum is looking good. It is putting in a higher high now, and the momentum wave is not showing signs of topping out. The white part is still very wide. The VWAP is still pretty high up there, so this has to come all the way down and cross the zero line before we print a red dot. So the momentum wave is not looking topish. It's probably going to end up crossing over the 60 line here, which, this momentum getting so high, getting very close to the 60 line is making me think that we will probably make a run for this weekly lower high soon. Typically, when momentum gets above the 60 line, especially on the weekly time frame, you tend to see some follow through. So a few things to mention here on the daily. Number one, momentum is very high up. It is put in a higher high compared to these waves back here. It is significantly above the 60 line, whereas back here we were just kind of bobbing up and down around the 60 line, and even that led to a pretty significant move to the upside. And this momentum wave, I have to say, is looking stronger. It's a very thick wave. It is staying above the 60 line, and we also saw money flow get a nice move into the red, a little curvature, and now it is crossing back over, putting in higher highs. So the daily time frame is looking good. We already had a very aggressive move here, so who knows if this move is locally overextended. Maybe it may need to retrace before trying to continue higher. But right now the daily's looking pretty good. Money flow is coming in, momentum is looking strong, and this is one of those coins that really hasn't broken out yet. It still has a lot of upside potential. It's still within this little accumulation range, and it's showing signs that it doesn't want to go much lower. And you know me, I like my market structure confirmations. I think a good sign that we are no longer going to be trading within this trading range is breaking above this weekly lower high significantly. And I do think that is a stronger confirmation to wait for. Sure, if you are bullish on this asset, if you have conviction for it, then you're probably already accumulating within this range. I think that's a fair strategy, just given the risk reward. There is, definitely some upside potential to this asset. Just targeting all-time highs, it is a 1600% move. That's over a 17x. So, I personally don't know what this does. I can't say that I personally have any conviction in this asset. So, personally, when it comes to, me getting involved in these assets, I prefer to wait for a more clear confirmation. And I think closing above this point would be that. But I also realize that most altcoins are going to pump. Maybe they won't all hit all-time highs. Maybe they just get little runs, but, Bitcoin is approaching its all-time high. Altcoins are kind of ripping at random. So I cannot blame you for maybe wanting to accumulate prior to those, stronger confirmations. And that's a strategy that I'm considering. Maybe just starting to DCA into altcoins before those stronger confirmations. So that way, if it ends up breaking weekly market structure and then just absolutely ripping, not really giving a proper chance to re-enter, then at least you started building your bags. That's an approach that I've taken for a few altcoins, and I'm not here to tell anybody what they're supposed to do. You make your own decisions, or talk to a financial advisor. I'm just doing analysis, and I will also go over what I'm personally doing if I am getting involved with an asset, whether it's a futures trade or whether I'm buying it on spot. And so I can personally say that ideally, for me, the confirmation that I want would be a break followed by a retest. But I know there's a chance that we won't get that. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this altcoin. I'm going to have to think about it because I have been doing some altcoin shopping recently. Um, so potentially, if I end up taking profits on something and I want to move some profits over to GALA, I may consider it because I like the way the chart looks. And potentially, if we haven't broken weekly market structure yet, I may just start buying a little bit while it's in this accumulation range. I think it makes sense just considering risk reward. Like you can put a little bit into this, something you don't really care about that much, and it could turn into a decent profit, even if you only end up, accumulating a little bit in here and then it just rips and doesn't give you a chance to re-enter. But overall, I like the way the chart looks. I think things are looking strong. We're seeing weekly money flow and weekly momentum show signs of strength. We're seeing the daily show signs of strength. And, altcoins in general are just pumping. So I would not be surprised to see this make a run for this weekly lower high at some point soon. And potentially once it breaks that, maybe we can, start aiming for higher targets. This thing is, pretty far down from its all-time high. Let's see how much it is. Is it really down 99%? That is wild. Hang on, let me go on log scale. Yeah, I went down like 98%. That's wild. So this thing is down a whole lot from its high. Um, I remember some people saying that if something goes down 99%, there's a good chance it never comes back. This technically only hit 98%, but, I haven't backtested that theory. I don't know if that's true. But I do like the way the market cipher looks. I think it's showing signs of strength. So, again, even if it doesn't hit all-time highs, this thing could pump like crazy, and maybe it just puts in a lower high. Who knows? But yeah, I think in the moment things are looking pretty good. I think things would look better if we break weekly market structure, and that's about all I have to say about this asset right now. All right, thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, leaving a comment. That helps to support my channel, and I really appreciate it. If you have any suggestions for altcoins you want me to take a look at, leave them in the comments, and I'll consider checking them out for a video. And other than that, I will see you all in the next one.